There's something we often take for granted and don't even think about it as part of our home's design. And it's actually an easy way to elevate your home. Welcome to GA Atelier, the podcast where intentional interior design meets mindful living. I'm your host, Jihan Askar, and I'm here with you on this journey to transform our living spaces into sanctuaries that reflect our unique story, personality, style, and lifestyle, while elevating our everyday life at home. So step inside my design workshop and let's design your home together. I'm talking about lighting today, and trust me, lighting is a game changer for any space. It's usually an easy upgrade that will make a huge impact on how we feel at home. Let's start with the simple fact. Lighting is not just illuminating our homes. It's not just about being able to see. This is the functional part of it. There's a big part of it, though, that there's so much more than that. Lighting creates an atmosphere. It sets the mood. It really can change the way you see a space and how you feel in it. So let's explore the basics. Just to understand how lighting works, we need to know the three main layers of lighting: ambient, task, and accent lighting. The first one, ambient lighting. This is your base layer. It provides the overall illumination for a room. It's the first layer that sets the general mood and brightness. But again, it's not just about functionality. It's about creating a specific environment. So your ceiling fixtures could be a chandelier, a pendant, and can give you more light, less light, depending on what the room is used for, the style of the light fixture. You can have one that is a bold one that makes a statement, or just subtle, just for lighting purposes. It really depends what you want to achieve. Then the second one we have is the task lighting. This layer of lighting is all about lighting specific tasks, your daily activities, such as reading, cooking, or working. These are your desk lamps, for example, under the cabinet kitchen lights, the reading lamp by your favorite chair. The key here is to provide a focused light that's bright enough to see clearly, but it also works in a way that feels that it's part of the overall design of the room and the lighting in the rest of the room. And it's also important to keep in mind that even though it's a very focused light, it shouldn't cause glare or shadows, because you are using it really to perform a specific task or activity. It's used for precision and direction. The task lighting should aim directly at the area where the activity will take place. Accent lighting, this is really where you get creative. It adds depth and visual interest to a space. You can, for example, highlight certain features of a room, maybe a piece of art, an architectural detail, or even a beautiful plant. It's like putting a spotlight on the things you love most in your space. It creates a focal point or adds some drama to a room. And I don't really consider it a source of light. It's more like the final touch that takes a space from functional to artistic. It really adds that depth, and you are creating a play of light and shadows around specific objects, and it can dramatically alter the room's appearance. So when you layer these three types of lighting, you have to consider some of the following. And notice I said layer, because you don't want to rely on one or two only. You really want to play with the three types of lighting. When you do that, this is when you create an experience. So here's some stuff to consider. I love using dimmers. It just makes everything easier to control. They offer so much flexibility to alter the ambiance of a room instantly. With dimmers, you can create a bright, vibrant space for a morning activity, for example, or a soothing environment for a relaxing evening. It's about having the ability to adapt the lighting to suit your mood and activity or time of day. The other thing is to pay attention to the color temperature of your lights. Not all light bulbs are created equal. It's a subtle but yet very important aspect. Warm lights with kind of a yellowish hue evoke a sense of coziness and relaxation. It's good for bedrooms, some areas of your living areas. In contrast to that, the cool lights are more stimulating. They're good for kitchens, maybe home offices. So just pay attention. You might like a light fixtures, and this has happened to me before, but I didn't pay enough attention to the light temperature or the color. So the light fixture was great, but it gave, for example, that very harsh white LED type of lighting. And I don't end up using the light because I just don't like the light that is coming out of it. Then your outdoor lighting. It also deserves some attention. It's an extension of your living space. A strategically lit garden or your patio, if you have one, will help you create an inviting outdoor space. It's not just an afterthought. It will show that it's a place that you are putting enough attention into just as much as your indoor living spaces. Which also brings us to natural light. And this is, of course, your sunlight. It's dynamic, it's ever changing. The quality of the sunlight will change throughout the day and seasons. So this interplay with your artificial lighting can really set the mood of your space. I want you to notice your own lighting at home, but also the natural light outside and how you can blend these two together. And of course, I have to mention candles. Yes, I know, they don't provide as much light. They're not really used for that. But they bring so much warmth and coziness to any space. A flickering candle on a dining table or a group of them on a coffee table can make an ordinary evening feel so special. They just have that little magic about them because you have the element of light and a little bit of the fire, and it just adds to that atmosphere at home. And I also love to play with the opposite of light, shadows. I think they are a design element in their own right. They can add some mystery and create a visual interest. Notice, for example, how light filters through a window. It casts shadows and patterns on the floor, or how a backlit object creates a dramatic silhouette, or a lampshade has a specific pattern, and just play with that. Now, balancing these layers is where the magic happens, like I said. Let's take a living room, for example. Your ambient light might be a stylish pendant on the ceiling. It can have a soft glow across the room. And if you have a dimmer, you can increase the intensity when needed. Then you've got a floor lamp by the sofa for reading. That's your task lighting, for example. And for accent, you can have lighting over some pictures or art on the wall, or a smaller table lamp with an interesting shade. So I really think that lighting is an art form. It's such a fun way to change and elevate your interiors. You're crafting an experience and creating an atmosphere to evoke the feeling you're after. So just experiment and let me know which lighting layer you're going to try to play with. So just experiment and have fun. There isn't really a wrong way of doing it. And let me know which lighting layer you're going to try to play with. Tag me on Instagram. Would love to hear from you. And if you have any questions, you can email me. Just make sure you're on my design inspo list. I will put the link in the show notes for you to join. Thank you for joining my atelier. Don't forget to follow the podcast. And thank you if you've given me a star review. See you in the next episode.